Actually, I didn't enter the fish. The fish had already been entered, and the fish was owned by one of the breeders who also ran the show. He was the show chairman. I didn't buy the fish for that reason. I bought the fish because I loved the fish. The show was just ancillary to the whole concept of wanting that particular fish.
What was the experience like, though? I mean,
it was,
going over there, choosing a fish, and having it entered in Japan.
It was exciting, the concept of showing a fish. And we got there really early. That day, there probably were 6 shows in the region, and the show that our fish was in was either the second or third show we went to that morning, Sunday morning.
What was the competition like?
It was extraordinary. But as everybody told me, it was kind of like a good old boys in the area. Those fellows from Mushigami against the guys from the other village and the other Ojia City and so forth around Niigata, in which there is some inter-family clan relationships and competition between them. Quite interesting, I think. I think the most interesting thing for me was the area in which it was shown was like the county seat, if you would, or the government area. The park area was beautiful, and the building which they the show was held outside, but the building itself had a museum, had a restaurant. Facilities were elegant, they're beautiful. The showgrounds were maintained meticulously. The show itself was very professionally done, and the awards given were not like the $10 awards that we give at our shows, and I shouldn't say that, but often they are just a small crystal vase or a few ribbons. One of the first things that my wife and I said when we saw it was, how would we ever, if we should win anything, how would we ever get anything home? Because the trophies were as tall as this young lad here. They're 4 feet high, 5 feet high trophies. And but we didn't do as well as we thought. We thought the fish itself was dramatically beautiful. And as you know, Brady, she's here. You've seen her. She is an extraordinarily beautiful fish. But when I bought her, the ownership changed and no longer was owned by the same person showing her or who had bred her to show her at that show. And I think at that point the dynamics changed. And I think that's fair. The moment I saw her, I was passionately in love with her. It was like thank God my wife's not a jealous woman. It was that kind of feeling. She is, and I have a lot of fish, as you know, and there are a lot of fish coming out of the ponds today. She was just breathtaking. I don't know how else to describe it. And of all the fish I've owned and all the years I've owned fish, the sun on her and glistening in the pond, when I saw her, I just stopped dead and said, I have to own that fish. And it was a very difficult decision because I had already overspent the budget that I had planned, probably more than 50% higher than I intended to by that moment already. And this fish, priced as she was to me when first asked, was the most expensive fish I'd ever purchased. In fact, the price of this fish was the price equal to the first home I ever bought as a young man for my family.